Are you ready, boys? Yeah! Ow!
This is Time for Kids. It's something my daughter gets at school. And gotta say I'm pretty disappointed in Time for Kids, which means I'm pretty disappointed in Time magazine. I'm constantly having to go over the stuff that we see in this with her because it's kind of watered down news propaganda, really, to kind of get the kids into the whole be a good citizen thing. And yeah, you know, community responsibility, very important. I'm all for that, man. I'm not saying go out there and stab your neighbors in the back and stuff, but it's stuff like this. This one says, China's Olympic trials. The games start in August. Will protests ruin the fun? You know, wouldn't it be a real drag if people fighting for their freedom got in the way of a sporting event? You know, I think that would be a real bummer. Okay, here's a picture of a Tibetan protester. Seems some Tibetans don't like the idea of the torch coming through Tibet in the name of China. Right? Anyway, the story isn't all bad. For example, it says, China, a growing economic superpower, has 1/5 of the world's population. The large country had hoped that hosting the games would highlight its strengths. Instead, the games have shed a critical light on China's poor human rights record and oppressive rule. China keeps tight control over its citizens who are unable to freely elect national leaders or openly criticize the government. Protesters demanding a free Tibet have appeared throughout the Torches tour. But despite international pressure on the country to ease up on Tibet, China continues to play by its own rules. So that's not bad. That's actually good. It's just a little bit watered down. Okay, this is crazy. It says, so far no nation plans to boycott the Beijing Games. But some critics of China's policies believe that boycotting the opening ceremonies would send a powerful message that the country needs to change its ways. British Prime Minister Gordon Brown and German Chancellor Angela Merkel, I know I said that wrong, have said that they will not attend. Booyah! I kind of give some kudos to those people. Others, including U.S. President George W. Bush, believe that boycotting is not the way to get China to change. I mean, after all, it doesn't work on anybody else we boycott. I don't view the Olympics as a political event, Bush says. I view it as a sporting event. Okay. There's George. It goes on to say, athletes are training hard for the games. Members of the U.S. team are trying to stay focused on winning, not on international conflicts. We are athletes, and we're going there to play a sport, says Abby Wambach of the U.S. women's soccer team. The Olympics are about competition, says U.S. gymnast David Durante. It's about the athletes and bringing the world together. Okay, so fifth graders not really able to read between the lines too well, so I always got to go over this sort of thing with her and make sure she understands what that means. You know, like, it's not important, the politics isn't important, you know, it's a sporting event. You know, come on people, relax, it's just a game. But what about, since 1950, Tibetans being Chinese when they're supposed to be Tibetans? Another little note is something that's been taking up my time. I'm going to take some more time. Time. See, that's a pun. Time. But this is not time for kids. This is time for HedgeTV subscribers. This is my book. My first ever book. I call it A Pharaoh Manifesto. It's just packed with stuff that I've written since 2006. And I've been working on this, putting it together. And what I'm going to do, this is just the manuscript. I'm actually going to make it for a 5x7 so that I can print it and bind it and so on. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to scan these pages, okay, and make them JPEGs. And I'm going to put them on my MySpace. That way you can go in there and look at it or even print a copy if you want it. And it's free. But the trick is, the folder is only going to be for friends. Okay? Most of mine are. You got to be on my friends list to access the folder. So, if you want to look at it and you're not on my friends list, you're going to have to send me an ad. The trick with that is, I'm picky with my friends. You send me an ad and I don't like you, no. Okay? Especially if your name's Ashley and you want me to check out your hot profile that MySpace won't let you put on, or the pictures that they won't let you put on, then I immediately mark you as spam. And you got no business reading my book, because this is deep philosophical stuff, you know, like my comics. No, you can't see it. This is just a brief preview. Okay? But it's pretty cool. I enjoy it. I was laughing my ass off at work when I was working on it, which is where I get the majority of my personal stuff done. Right? But don't let that get out, even though I know a lot of you are watching this. But that's fine, because this is on the internet, and so it'll teach you not to believe everything you hear on the internet. And while I was working on my book, I found this document. This is a novel, or actually a novella, I would suppose, that I wrote, I believe also in 2006. So I'm going to do the same thing with it. I'm going to publish it on MySpace. And first I'm going to do this one. But I'm hoping to get this one too. They're each about 40 pages long, so you're going to have to give me some time. I'm going to be working on that today, which is why I didn't plan out any fun or exciting or funny videos, because I'm going to be working on this. And I also got so much yard work, I can't even begin to describe it. And speaking of that, check out this letter I got from the city of Jefferson. That's where I live. The city of Jefferson. Now, I got this on Wednesday. This past Wednesday, which was not quite a week ago. Okay? Tuesday, I got out and mowed. Everything was really tall. We've been getting a lot of rain. And so I can't get out and mow the grass and take care of the yard as often as I would like to. And at the same time, it's growing like, well, it's growing like weeds, right? Because it is weeds. And it's just growing like mad because of all the rain. Anyhow, I got this letter one day after I mowed the lawn. Over the past few years, the Department of Community Development has taken a proactive approach on neighborhood revitalization, which involves environmental inspections within the community. The purpose of these inspections is to identify deteriorating conditions within the community and have those conditions corrected in an effort to protect the health, safety, and welfare of the community. On May 6th, 2008, I inspected my address and found the following items to be in violation of Chapter 21, Section 21-2A. Tall grass, weeds, and other rank vegetation of the Jefferson City Code of Law. This letter serves as a notice that the violation should be corrected within 10 days from the date of this notice in the following manner. Please cut all vegetation, grass, weeds, and other rank vegetation on this property in a legal manner. Failure to resolve the above violations can result in prosecution and or abatement costs. Okay? Now, I took that kind of personally, considering that I got it a day after I mowed the lawn. And now I'm going to wrap things up, and I'm going to leave you with a little shot of what the weather was like the day I got this letter. Wow, check this out. Today's the 7th of May. This is really the reason why I did videos like the Dingo Art Show and things, because today was actually supposed to be the day that I was going to do the video on foraging wild plants, edible plants. But not a good day for shooting outside.